Hi guys. This story is gonna be the fuck. This video is gonna be a story time of the time that I almost died at Kalahari, or I thought I was gonna die. So let's get into the video. Okay, so for this trip, it was me, my sister, my cousin, my grandma, my aunt, then my other aunt, and then my dad. So yeah, so we had been at Kalahari for I think 2 days. This was our third day being there, and then our fourth day was when we were gonna leave. So this was our third day, second to last day where we were gonna leave, and we were all eating at this restaurant. So let me show you kind of like the setup. So there's this table, okay, and it was me, Grandma, and then Beanie, which was my sister, and then Melon, which was my cousin. And then at this table behind us, it was R, which is my dad, D, which is my aunt, and then L, which is my other aunt. So it was like our table and then the other table behind us, which was my dad and my two aunts. So we were all just sitting there eating our, I think it might have been lunch. It was probably around lunchtime. It was either lunchtime or dinner time. I can't really remember. But we were eating our food, you know, at this awesome restaurant. By the way, the food was great. Just putting that out there. So we were eating the food and everything, and it was fine. And we were like talking, chatting, laughing. Everything was going great until we heard our tornado siren. So all of the workers in the restaurant start like freaking out, and me and Melon, since we're so like young, we're just like sitting there like, the fuck is going on? Like, we don't understand what's going on. And so the people, like the staff that works at the restaurant, starts yelling at us, and well, not like rudely yelling at us, just like yelling at us for like safety reasons. And they're just like yelling at us to get out of the restaurant and to go down to like the little like spacious room where you go for like tornado drills and stuff, or like tornado warnings. And so we all ran out of the restaurant. We had to leave our food, by the way, which me and Melon were very upset about. But we left our food, and the way that the restaurant was set up, like it was a restaurant, and it was pretty, like it was down a hallway, and we ran down the hallway, and then there's a little check-in place, like the check-in counter or desk, whatever you want to call it. So we ran down the stairs in front of the check-in counter. And then there was another flight of stairs, like this huge flight of stairs that goes downwards, and that's where the game room is. So we ran down those stairs and we went to the game room, and then right across, like here's the game room, okay, like here's the entrance to the game room, and then right over here there was a room where everyone else was going for the tornado thing. So we all ran in there, and it was me, so everyone who was like in there with me, it was me, Beanie, Melon, my grandma, D, and L. R, which was my dad, was like nowhere to be found. So my grandma was like trying to like text him to like figure out where he was, because he hadn't come down with us. He was literally at the same restaurant that we were at. Like he was at the restaurant with us, but he wasn't, like he hadn't run down to the game room with us. So like we were like freaking out because we thought, you know, maybe he ran the other way. Like, you know, maybe, you know, we were just like scared that something had like happened to him. And so we all were like sitting down there basically, and nobody really knows why we were crying, but me and Melon just started profusely crying. Nobody really knows why we were crying, and like why we were so upset. I guess it was just because we had never really experienced, well, none of us had experienced our tornado drill in Kalahari before. So like we were like terrified that we were honestly gonna die. Like I was scared that I was gonna like fucking die and shit. So like we were all, well, like me and Melon were the only ones crying, and then my grandma was trying to comfort me, and L, which was Melon's mom, was trying to comfort her, and then D over here, which is my other aunt, is over here trying to comfort all of us, and then Beanie over here, which is my sister, just is like standing there like nothing's going on, like nothing's wrong. Like she's literally just standing over here like, hey, what up? Like nothing's wrong. And so then there was this woman And this man and this woman brought this other woman because she was in a wheelchair, and they wheeled her in. And probably only like 20 minutes after they had reeled her in, she starts to, like, her arms start to like go like that, and like just like start to shake, and like her whole body starts to shake a little bit. And me and Melon are just like, we like exchange looks, and like I look at my grandma, and I look at Dee, and I look at Ellen, and I look at my sister Beanie, and we're like me and Melon are the only ones that are like confused, because like we don't know what's going on. So this woman was starting to have a seizure, and me and Melon had never experienced anyone having a seizure, so like we didn't know what was going on. And her having a seizure made me and Melon cry even harder. And then Beanie over here, my sister, who was like acting like nothing was wrong and was like, you know, like, nothing's wrong with me. She was like, Beanie started to cry because she had never experienced anyone having a seizure either. So then D and L, my aunts, try to like calm the lady down and like try to fix the situation, because they had never ever seen anyone have a seizure before, because they don't have like jobs where you like take care of people in hospitals and everything. So they had never ever seen anyone have a seizure, so they honestly had no idea what to do. But they were like trying to help and everything. And then Beanie was over here crying, I was over here crying, Melon was over here crying, and then my grandma was like trying to comfort all of us. So she starts to like, you know, have a seizure, like a full-blown seizure and everything. And a nurse, I don't know where this nurse came from, but a nurse out of nowhere runs up to her and starts to like fix everything and like help this lady out. And my grandma stands here, because like the nurse is helping this lady over here, so my grandma like stands here, so like blocking our view so we don't have to see anything. And then L and D come over here and start to comfort me, Beanie, and Melon. And so probably not only 5 minutes later, an ambulance comes, and 2 paramedics come down with a stretcher down the stairs, and they come and get her, and then they take her, and they took her to a hospital. And by the time that they got her on the stretcher and were leading her out, they said that like the Kalahari officials were like, okay, the warning's over, you guys can go back to whatever you were doing before. So me, Beanie, Melon, Grandma, D, and L all go back up to the restaurant. So then my grandma starts to call R, because R is like missing in action. Like, he's literally nowhere to be found. We don't know where he's at. So she starts to call him, and like right when she gets ready to call him, he walks into the restaurant, and we're all like thankful. Like, we just like run up to him and start hugging him, and me, Melon, and Beanie start crying. And my grandma's like, well, where were you? And he was like, well, I went to go grab my phone from the hotel room, and then one of the Kalahari officials took me down to another part of the like the block off where you would go for a tornado warning and tornado situation and everything. So he was in another part of the tornado place, like where you would go to stay safe from a tornado. He was on the other side of that, because like there was, you know, we were on this side, and then there was like it was kind of like a hallway, and then it curved, and like there was like another like hallway down here. So he was on this hallway, we were on this hallway. So like we hadn't seen each other. And so yeah. So after that, we just went back to the restaurant, we started eating, and then we went back to the hotel room, we went to sleep. And the next day, we actually packed that night. And then the next morning, me and Melon had to pack the rest of our stuff, because everyone else had already packed except me and Melon. So me and Melon were like packing the rest of our stuff and everything. And we took showers and everything. And then we left. And that's the end of this story time. So I will see you guys next week in my next video. And yeah, bye!